Mr. Bowman, do you have any additions, corrections, or deletions to the report?
No.
Do you have anything you want to tell me before I sentence you?
No.
In regards to the fines and costs, the court agrees that the case law does indicate that the court would be in violation of case law regarding that issue, so the court is not issuing the requested or recommended state costs and crime victim fees and court costs. The court is ordering the restitution of $1,254.41 payable to the Allegan County Sheriff's Department. In regards to the sentence in this case, Ms. Cook has articulated many of the issues the court has in regards to sentencing. I think that there's some misinformation or misunderstanding that the court could at this point in time sentence Mr. Bowman to a period of life. In essence, the court has the ability to sentence him to a life sentence by exceeding the guidelines and articulating reasons for doing that. However, the reality is that a life sentence actually places Mr. Bowman in a position where he would be eligible for parole earlier than what this court intends to sentence him for. A term of years is a more appropriate sentence in this case for that reason. It's my understanding that Mr. Bowman could potentially be eligible for parole in 15 years. That, in this court's opinion, is not enough time for Mr. Bowman to serve on this sentence. To a certain extent, the court understands that this sentencing is somewhat symbolic in that Mr. Bowman has been sentenced in the state of Virginia to 2 life offenses and a 20-year prison sentence. I'm not familiar enough with how the state of Virginia handles life imprisonment sentences, but it is a life imprisonment for a first-degree murder, so it's hard for the court to believe that he would ever be released from prison in Virginia. But I have to make sure that our society is protected here, in case for some reason that particular sentence does not apply. I doubt that it would change. But I feel compelled to assure that our community is safe. And Mr. Bowman is not safe to be in our community. His numerous assaults, his behavior in this case, his other convictions all clearly indicate that Mr. Bowman is a serious, dangerous man that has harmed many communities, many families, and it is impossible to even articulate the words to describe what he has done. Reading what he has done is sickening. I've been in this business for 40 years almost, 20 of them in prosecution and 11 in this role. And I've prosecuted cold case murders. I don't think I've ever read anything this disturbing. I believe a sentence outside the guidelines is appropriate in this case. One of those reasons, and there are many, is that you did do all the things the prosecutor said you did. You lied for 30 years, over 30 years. You hid Aundria for over 30 years. You put the police in a situation of spending the last 30 years looking for answers as to where Aundria was. You left the community worried about what happened to Aundria. 30 years, 33 years that you've been out enjoying your life, committing more crimes. That in and of itself, in this court's opinion, is a reason to go outside the guidelines. The additional behavior that's so disturbing that you would chop her body up with an axe and keep it close to you. I'm not sure what that means. But you didn't get rid of the body completely. You kept it close. Aundria's body in parts where you could see it, where she was buried every day. It's bizarre. I believe that going outside of the guidelines based on the numerous factors of 33 years of lying to her mother, to her sister, to our community, justifies going outside the guidelines. The court also has to consider the extent of going outside the guidelines and justify the departure in regards to the number of years. You're 72 years old. I believe a sentence guideline that keeps you away from our community of a minimum of 35 years to 50 years is more appropriate in this case, and that is this court's order